Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Riot with Riot Tech, and today we're doing a review of the Fantech Helios 2 Pro. First, thank you, Christopher, for the request and the comment. Second, I wanted to thank Rise Up Gaming for sending this out to me to review. So with that being said, with top-of-the-line specs at $85, is it worth it? Let's get into it. First, let's get into the quality of the mouse. The quality is extremely good on the Helios 2 Pro. There's no rattles, no creaking, no flexing. No matter how hard and force, no matter what I do to this mouse, this thing is a brick. I mean, no quality issues whatsoever. Even for side flex on mouse 1 and mouse 2, there's hardly anything at all. The coating is really good. It doesn't have a rubberized coating, but compared to other mice that I've tried out this year, I haven't had any issues feeling uncomfortable when my hands sweat. In other reviews, I've specifically mentioned that I'm starting to use more grip tape just because I have sweatier hands, so it gives me extra grip whenever I'm playing, but I don't feel the need to use any kind of grip tape with this mouse at all. In terms of the shape, we know that this was based off of the Zowie S2, and the closest thing that I'm going to have in hand is going to be the OG Lamzu Atlantis. The OG Atlantis is longer whenever you compare the two, but it does have a similar curve on the sides of the mouse, and I'll get to that in a second. The two major differences in the shape is going to be a flatter curve on the top, and it has a wider base at the bottom. So, I mean, if you look at the Lamzu, if you have a Lamzu, if you're looking at it, you can see that it curves out whenever you're looking at it. The Helios is way wider. I mean, it just looks like it just comes straight back and then just curves around. So it definitely has a little bit of a wider base. One thing that I did want to add is this is the very first mouse that has a wired mode, a wireless mode, and a Bluetooth mode. It has a DPI button on the mouse itself down here, so you could change it fairly quickly. Now, when it comes to the switches, the Helios is using the TTC Gold Optical Premium Tactical Switches, and it's a little bit of a mouthful, but whenever I first used this mouse, I didn't feel the feedback I typically do at the bottom of the mouse button to a point where they feel more hollow compared to other optical switches. So something like the Lamzu Thorn, I barely have any amount of pressure, and there's the switch. I can feel it as soon as I put any amount of pressure on that mouse. For this one, it's not necessarily the same. I have to have a little bit more pressure, so they're a little heavier, but they feel a little more loose, and like I mentioned, they do feel a little more hollow. Even if you have a little bit of a sound test, you can tell straight to the click, or if I do the same with this, you can hear it doesn't sound the same. And as I mentioned before, it is going to feel a little looser, a little more hollow, and I mean, it's a little heavier compared to other optical switches that I've tried. Outside of that, we have both the side buttons and the scroll wheel. Side buttons feel very, very good. I haven't had any issues with these, and I mean, they don't have hardly any pre or post travel at all, and they feel really good whenever you're using the switches. The scroll wheel is using the F-Switch tactical scroll wheel encoder, and definitely has a good notch feel. Honestly, compared to a lot of mice that I've tried lately, generally whenever you're using the scroll wheel down, I mean, I mentioned this in another video, but it feels like sometimes even with just a little bit more force, you're going down into the next notch, and this doesn't feel like that at all. The force that I would typically use, and I would think that most people would use in terms of getting a notch down or a notch up, it feels very, very good for the scroll wheel. So I definitely like the side buttons and the scroll wheel. As always, the sensor implementation of the 3395 feels great. definitely felt comfortable playing Apex, Fortnite in the finals over the last couple days. And the stock feet to me are definitely good, but they feel a little slower to me compared to other brands. Not nearly as bad as the GPX2 by any means whatsoever. Just comparatively, whenever I've been using other mice right out of the box, these do feel a little slower to me. The Fantech Helios 2 Pro with 4K, a $33.95, optical switches at $85. This is honestly extremely competitive with the market. Really, the two biggest brands that I could think of that would come close in terms of price would either be Pulsar or Lamzu, most of their mice being around $90 to $100. This at 85 is a couple bucks cheaper, and when you're getting 4K right out of the box at $85, this is very, very, very good. So if you have any questions about the mouse itself, anything that you felt like I missed, or any questions that you have, feel free to throw them in the comment section below. This past week, I've honestly been blown away by the comments that I've gotten from everyone, from the companies that I've been able to talk to. Like, it has honestly been a blast this past week. And I definitely have a lot more coming. I have several pad reviews. I have both the Lethal Gaming LA1 next week. I have the WL mouse right behind that. I have the Infinity mice control pad, as well as the Tenta X mouse pads as well. So I have a lot coming in terms of reviews. I do have a giveaway that, as I mentioned, I will continue talking about it. I am at 250. I will be giving away a brand new Lamzu Cloud Gray right out of the box, brand new, still in the packaging, once we get to that point. So again, thank you everyone for the support. I really, really, really do appreciate it. And with that being said, I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.